Tamachi. Nananum Kunya ne Adankaseni Abrankasina Tamachi. Nata Tamachi. Trading Ponti.
Bibia Eddy. And yet, and some ago a year a password, yeah, baby, too. But before that, you know, we are sure what some of the measures are. President ne Nkrofo na pamfo koya almost or more kwako your friend is saying dear wo pediase one of the major ones woman here pay cut of the president and the appointees by 30%. Me are sure what is animal be preliminary comment on it na nante
ma menche for menche nim before ne nyasafo a mo agibrate ye menje brena menchia yadofo ni atamfo nyina ohene sabe nim se unimade e fe ne nkobesie
Power FM
na so ntie so ni onwam etikopo sabi se wo ohene asobrachi a ono na oguni ho ase nanimu ase e wo bedwam, and you are able to tell a story of nipa bakwa ono ankasa wa sheda bo apaye esisi na so ebunu egu na sum ontie nyansa ontie futuo ama afei
Power FM
se ye ka nimdia sebi yentimi nkwati nyansa abono nimienu nyina abono se de ejonso abakoko
adentia
nimdie sebi unim nyansa anase nyame afa adoma chade eni nyansa nomwa untimi nkonko hwehwe nimdie enti obi a onim di bia wo wiasim bia no eya eden so beka so onim nyansa but ye ka che so onim nyansa pe na che so onim dia atosini because untimi nkwati nyansa enkopri nimdie eno ni ade a ama ene yakọ asan abisi yanchi
yakọ asa abisi yanchi
aban eyenko besi aban
adai
oni ani so ade hu ikabi dikwa twabi tumi mu ya mana na ne buafu sabi nyansa ni ho o prenimde onso wonya bida isanse ade a eye kwan a ye faso prenimde ni nyansa di bu man no aban no akwati sa kwan no aban bia in this world waka say or your policies na oko review bia no sa aban no nimde ni nyansa ahwere no because nyansa ni bia ni wa obeye policy no ne kwan so a obesa call back to the drawing board.
Maybe times have changed.
It's not bad times.
COVID-19 policy.
You see, let me tell you.
So external forces, external factors.
You do pragmatism when you are making sure you are developing a policy. So with all the shocks in mind, you put out a policy that is able to have, okay, Oshaya ultimu ye me fe papa. Ejidi sa Oshan no Bruni ye no na ose ehyan na ose ekọ nanim. Ose etimi kọ nachi. Na ose etwamene mu a etimi nya resistance bi ma shocks a ebeba. Adana Bruni anya ka ne se ebekọ nanim keke. So after all, we all want to move forward and we want to move backwards. In case ukọ bebi na ukọ pima no etimi aba wachimi boa. Bruni could have said, car, crime for navigator, me first year, mem. Yabeko yanim keke. But nyansani bia obu mine obu mine anase or ya dia what the ensusuye any enhyehyeye eto ho no ayade a wan kasa wote ho abeka say this is a wow. Abayi ni bi. I said it before Akuffo Addo became president. Said he has no knowledge, he has no wisdom. I said it. I have no regrets ever because I think before I speak. And before I think, I must have put in purview a dear ben and a sebi make a one semono. Now, Susuya means Susui. Mrs. Sun is saying, Mrs. Sun is said, ye kind. Papa, the super in the sign. ne sese ya wo de bɔ ne bra ne san na obi a sabi aboa wonim ne so hwɛ wo so obetimi ahwɛ dodo ɔno ankasa na brabɔ na me de ye ni susuye na me de susu no and it was just a best analysis.
Maybe
what you need friend best pork.
Power.
If you are into the industry of maybe creativity and especially tailor. So corner tailor susu na opama taria shewa. I said this is best pork. This is what taria ya mine fe shewa. Best pork it fits you. Sanka ba ye na kwa sha taria na wa betri ya hwinhwan.
They show that part.
You beka se hotel anye. Wan so kura you beka se won so woni ani so ade hunu. Because so call ya tell ne pam ya o de share won we hu se ade yi emfete me. Enso wa hye e de betina bedwam. Akuffo Addo so ban no. Yenwi e wo wiasim ne abuman a e ko bia betima abuman. Enka kodwo bantima betima abuman. Enka sabi farafara ha ya wote zabuzongo enko betima buman eslo wusu bana no se ye bobese de buman a enko no kra betima buman no nka eslo wusu bana betima buman nanka obiye owiasim including abodan form tete kwan ho bodam ni na ote eye dankwa circle no ko betima buman because ye nwene na ye buman enu bi na na bedu yanso yi ye nwene obiye ni wa wodwene a ansa na wa ye bibia wobeko ababesie. No matter what the shocks, so what dream and a shocks buyer, this will not be the effects of the shocks. Now let's analyze the details. Dedikai cutting down of what?
Pay cut by 30%.
Okay.
But before that, Okatakyie COVID-19 bread. President Okatakyie said we donated 3 months of his salary be to a year.
It was a lie.
So which salary? What are the monitors?
He was lying. Look, and I'll come back to one thing. Let me just even address that before I even proceed to the details of meeting. You know, that bogus meeting they held, and they are trying to put propaganda to the whole this thing. You know. One of the propagandas, you know, was to get the your friend saying Council of State to come and say, oh my allowance cut.
20%.
Let me tell you, they are just lying. And I say it on authority. It's a lie. Okay, how do we cut allowance?
Power.
Who cuts it?
There are certain allowances.
So who cuts it? You see how people can easily lie. They are the problem. The Council of State is the problem of this country because they don't even know how to even advise themselves, let alone to advise the president. What's their core duty? Their core duty is to advise the president and the government of the day. They have failed woefully. Mumuti ho nana jabe hine. Ya mi mo mi mu ase na machia no sanse me yo he. Wo nana jabe hine. Wo na wo sen ka tu Akuffo Addo fo se ebre mu ode yam free wiem sen enkofa to enkodi to otu ne fo wantu ne fo na ni magu ase wo bedwam mu eneka wo sen ka yen ye ti bedwam a ye kasa ohene aye se yo na Akuffo Addo ye se yo Akuffo Addo wo hwe wa mamu wo hwe untoto ye wo hwe unsusu ye adan na Akuffo Addo wo ye se wa bra wo se ye wa hu ye hiem. We are not in normal times. Una be ka brofo no na sabi ofutufo entia futu a afi no okotufo wo na okotufo no wo kobra wo so mpafen wo na okotufo no wo kra wo hia futu o tan nipa ogutu ne fo no wo kroya ya crackers se mo medicals na mo nkotenam we
ya crackers da be ya
omo crackers
Power FM
300 cars no
yes omo ka ho
ya captain guy
Council of State omo ka ho
VA 300 no
omo ka ho. In fact omo kwaji $28 million so omo kwa koto cars in 2021. Nyansani nwene saa.
Ewa bra yi niska no.
Now nipa weinom ene to amampanifo. So you see how the crisis has befallen us. We have weak minds, very weak. I won't say shallow. Some of them are shallow in thinking, but together they are very weak minds that are so weak and can't just rebuke a president who is very shallow and useless to the cause of this country. If you have such people, nipa wenum ne to amampanifo na etina mo begina baabi begem ebeye propaganda ya kati ye allowances mon kan che ye se cars na monye mon kan che se ya anwene in the past mon kan che Ghana for say yensusu ye ne yen botan ya na esi ye ni so when na wo council of state or ye council of state member na say president na say or ye member mpokeka one ne ho. I'll lead you to a certain conversation.
So in this case,
some of them have ever served this government, this country, and they left power or they left posts on their salaries.
No,
I have to go personal. I don't like to do that, but some of them,
I know say eating men
I don't want to be personal.
So you know what can I say?
It may be him, but I'm not gonna go personal.
Okay.
I don't like to denigrate images like him because they are the last things that I would want to discuss. I'm a very serious person. I don't discuss people or persons that are not serious in life. They are not serious in life. Look, the problem that has befallen, the economic woes that have befallen this country is as a result of their misdeeds. Omo say ye can nipa e wo say ye blame omo pa wo my we mu a e council of state because senka omo ni mafutuo e nka omo tu omampanifo e nka omo ye de ehia ne de ese efata e ma oman yi a enka nde enka yanko ohaw mu jese na jese wo futufo we Absalom afutuo de koma David ibi ni ene nyankopon ono ase ma afutuo nya nkwase asem e wo mani so afutuo bi no.
So in this case,
you see, I don't like it when persons who are the cause of the problems try to do diabroni kind of politics.
They said they are going to review all policies, flagship programs. They say free SHS, planting for food and jobs, NAPCO. Government has to review all of them because we are in hardship and yet or more COVID-19 at the Abba. Gabriel Cheda, president of us, said
the least we discuss about him, the better.
We should tighten, not him as a person, but what he
but
said.
He has spoken, and so the least we discuss about him, the better. Yeah, Kenyan Safwasem, Pacho, Mayan Kenyan Safwasem, Mr. Mayan Kenyan Safwasem. Nipa Omojini, Omajinimu Do, Omajinimu Sebi, a Bob Bill.
So you're discussing the review of the.
We have just a category of two persons in this world. A category of two persons. You may fall in one or two. The one are those who think before they act. Yes. Or junior or junior bibia. Se medika yi kone kopimo ameye den. Se manfaka ankona me nantia me mpaboa abeye den. Me namu bego. Meye den na metimi abafie. Na me kona me bre. Obedwi bibia ho nti wo take decision a wadwen. For example, there are things they have called flagship programs. Some of them are very funny, very frivolous.
Are they?
Okay, I'll give you a list. A litany of them I will do in a brief. You will laugh and ask, how come this is a flagship program?
A flagship program.
Okay, I'll give you a list. I'll give you a list in a brief.
Because Offer Free SHS is one of their flagship programs. Planting for Food and Jobs here, one of their flagship. NAPCO, a flagship program.
Do you know all the 16? Do you have all the 16 in mind?
No, I don't have them in mind.
Okay, I'll give you. Then you help us read. I'll give you
all the 16 flagship
programs. All the 16.
I'm reading my
it's about 17.
He looks for that. I said the allowances and other incentives are by far more than their monthly salaries. Thus, their 30% pay cut must also affect their allowances. If this is not done, the 30% pay cut is not necessary. I would need someone idea no buy. We say their proposed pay cut is a sham. It will not affect them because they have amassed wealth, a lot of wealth, that they will continue to be richer. They should rather forgo their allowances and per diem. Okay, I know you're Thomas. And I know by Thomas Asem. And I know about 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, Kwajo Boniface, you lucky. I think he was referring to a year. Wafake New Plan Station. Wafake, Madame for power. And of course, I never in the picture be some years back. But you see, I hate people who are not honest with themselves. And a branch here, come on, find itself. Okay, you have made the system render you useless, and you still defend the system. Okay, two-way. Nice gentleman, fantastic guy. Or your baba, so many years in it, but he supports the 5-year rule of Akuffo Addo because he has to support.
Just because he's an MPP.
Now, so the list.
The list is okay. The list is here. I wish you do that.
So we are talking about Microfinance and Small Loans Center. That is MASLOC. Then we're talking about Nation Builders Core, National Identification Authority. How is this flagship program?
These are so you go
free senior high school program.
Okay, so that's
government communication. Government communication.
It's a flagship program. You read. And you see how useless and almost to the abyss of stupidity.
Appendix 6, cost of government flagship programs.
Yes.
That is 2021.
Yes.
So we have 1 district, 1 factory, planting for food and jobs, water and sanitation, roads infrastructure, railways development, fish landing sites, special development initiative, Zongo Development Fund, school feeding program, livelihood empowerment against poverty, regional reorganization and development, and also a flagship
program. It's defunct. Now you can go on.
Teacher trainee allowances. That is a flagship program.
Yes.
Nursing trainee allowances.
Yes.
But the one way government communication.
Yes.
How is that a flagship program?
Okay. So apart from the no. Yeah, chrono. You see, these are the 16 they have discussed they are going to review. And you can see how a fairy tale has become a fiction on our lives. Number 1, MASLOC, Akuffo and the buy.
It cannot be Akuffo Addo's flagship program.
You see, yes, he could have meant well if they had performed any better. Apart from the stealings my brother and sister in the place did. Maybe that is what he meant by flagship. The stealings, the amounts of wealth people have made in that, your friend is saying, hey, MASLOC or no, and then be a flagship, I don't see how it has impacted on any Ghanaian. 2, national or nation builders.
That is NAPCO.
NAPCO. How has NAPCO impacted the lives of the many? In fact, almost didn't be transfer 100,000. Okom website, it was less than 38,000. I know 38. It's not
Power FM.
It's not anything beyond 38. There can you know your ghost names almost fire. Eshishemu, Ejiji Sike D. Yet also me and son. National Identification Authority. How can that? A fiasco. The criminologist is now a criminal. The criminologist. I see him as a criminal.
Why?
Because he has not been able to achieve his aim.
Why?
You don't take money. Atefa. You take money that could even register the whole of India, a population beyond 1 billion. To register just 38 or 30.8 million population. You could not. How many months? How many years? You see how criminologists can be failures and criminal at the same time?
I don't have any evidence of a criminal.
Fine, that's my own words. That's how I want to address him. A criminologist, now a criminal. You don't do this to a state. It is only a criminal that does that. You can't attain it. You knew you could not. You said you could do that in 6 months. You said you could do that in a year. How many years ago? Since 2017. You have not been able to even register half the population of this country. Half. It is only a criminal that has that mentality of aiming to be a thief. Now, let's go to free SHS. It's one of the policies that wasn't Akuffo Addo's brainchild, but he advocated for.
For me, he's free SHS and free because it's become his brainchild. So
it has not. It
well,
cannot be.
we leave it like that because
I mean, you are too. You are too knowledgeable to be.
I know, sir. Constitution talked about free
yes,
SHS.
So the framers had planned. So he would be
but if there is one person in this country,
yes,
who owned free SHS, who birthed the idea in terms of
please.
Akuffo Addo is second to none.
Don't make nonsense of the framers of the Constitution.
No. Akuffo
Addo can be an advocate. He can be an advocate.
But he's second to none when it comes to.
So call him an advocate.
Well,
par excellence, you can put any adjective to it or advocacy.
He
he didn't birth the idea of free SHS. That is period. The birthing of free SHS is just in the minds of framers of the Constitution. You can't take that away from them. It will be as though you are just, trying to, eulogize that bit of it where people feel Ghana is not where.
For me, Akuffo Addo,
he advocated. So you can say advocacy, yes, he's a good advocate, yes. I will give him. He's a very good advocate for free SHS, but a failure at that.
Power the fam.
Oh, tikesi we adria enkasa adria mmere. John Mahama ti ho na oye nhyehyɛ sɛ me nya ne nkakra. Especially when the framers of the Constitution had said in their own words, omo kan ne brofum na so ne twi ne sɛ yɛn free preko mpo yɛ moja beba. Nyansani na yesa.
Progressively free.
Ne brofo no. Ne twi ne sɛ yɛn free preko mpo wo se moja beba. Then they decided say kakra because Sebi.
So you run me through quickly
running you through quickly.
So you talk about free SHS Akuffo Addo, but he championed it.
So
okay.
Now government communication is
how is that a flagship program?
Well, it's only in the brain of a shallow mind. Because you see, the reason why they want to put this thing here is because they spend money.
How much did they spend there?
They spent about 10 million.
10 million of Ghanaian taxpayers' money on government communication.
Yes. And just 10
communicating
million,
what?
Just to do propaganda.
Why do you need to put too much money for?
It goes back to the Patrice Lumumba quote. It's a very clear point. Oh, Nipano. Onye jumano. Nenso or spend this sika ama for bodero. So it gets back to John Mahama's analysis of the sloganeering.
Power the fam.
Slogans don't make things possible. I remember in the days of the MPP where we were trying to even nurture people to do the public advocacy for us. With Dr. Nane, we chose some of these strategies. We called it spin. I'm not trying to divulge information. It's a history.
Spin.
Okay, Kwame Yoba. Every day, if you go on the radio, say Kwame Yoba. People will believe that Kwame Yoba, but what you say.
So continuously when he said that.
So you repeatedly spin what we want you to spin. So if we say, ensure we, people will buy this ensure, feeling say obenom alcohol baku krenim and so no more obeka se wabo ampa so obebo because you have continuously spent it. So they bought into an idea, and it was a South African that developed that idea for them before they became a government. Keep spinning that Mahama is a thief, people will believe it. Keep spinning that Mahama is corrupt. He's inflating cost of projects. Keep spinning that infrastructure is not the way to go. Keep spinning that taxes is not the way to go. Production is the way. So they kept spinning to the ears of the people, thinking that once they did that, it will sink. Now Mahama will be an enemy to the ears of the people. Once they hear Mahama, then God miraculously.
And this was a plan.
This was a plan. No, in the past, that is how we used to work. And they used it in the 2016 elections. It worked. Let's keep lying. People will believe in our lies. They will not believe that Akuffo Addo is incorruptible, even though he's a thief.
Please, meaning baby or a thief. No?
He stole party money. I mean, those things, if you take me there, you want to soil his image. Don't take me there. I can do that. But we have a very important assignment, a national cause. I don't want to, target his image. His image is already spoiled. I mean, he knows. He's a laughing stock to the public and to the world.
So, listen quickly. Now, government communication.
Government communication,
we spend over 10 million on
million.
that. Then what is next?
Next is planting for food and jobs. Okay.
And also, you spend this, how much on it?
We spent about planting for food and jobs 432 million.
But even with planting for food and jobs.
So I come in here.
When I say catch a man for say, they quite planting for food and jobs. Mumra medo fu na say opesa man for ne kon do a fu a year. What do you do?
Just suppose these two. First thing, John Mama went for a loan, a grant. It was a grant, a gift from Canadian government. Now Canadian government gives government of Ghana 150 million Canadian dollars free of charge, just out of Mahama's, his scale of communication. He was able to communicate well. The Canadian government says, okay, we will give you $150 million. Just induce that in the agricultural sector of your economy. If you're able to do that, we would want some produce from you. Now, John Mahama uses
now
that.
Talk of produce,
Yes.
What I was about saying is, farming here attractive.
Yeah.
People, you don't need to tell people, hey, mon go into farming. Say, Akuffo nim so mon edua baby.
Okay.
Ye baba aban baba beton in temo free ho. Akuffo nim say udua baby. There is already marketer. I don't think Abai has to keep on spinning in our ears. So, planting for food and jobs.
So you did the second verse of the juxtaposition for me. The first one was John Mahama's, who said instead taking the money and coming to maybe dole it out to farmers, no, mayenye machinery centers, farmer machines were ho. So person odo kuya, odo ebro, person odo baby. Machinery center ho. From say wo do afuo ni mu, wo plow asase no, wo dua, wo guso, wo cha wo no bae. From that bibia machine be ya ma. Just tell us how many hectares you want to grow. Ye be ye ni nyina ma.
There was machinery.
All that, yes, he was going to make that machinery centers across the country. Everywhere there are arable lands, Mahama decided in his 2016 manifesto. I read it. I've forgotten. I didn't bring it here. Now, that was Mahama's intention. And that is what he committed. He was going to commit the money into doing. Well, free Abemu, and at 2017, a Juma Okoye in 2016, Sikane buy in somewhere March 2017. Buy and unim dia akoto free ye or chami akoto ban unim the scan ye okoto pickups no di bia go so the year campaign or the president.
Okay,
planting for food and jobs.
You remember planting, you remember next one so. My main kind little George Koa Mensah as men can say to boost your immune system. Say be ya unum peni o se be den samre se wakuma enya adwuma ye na pese ye adwuma yi a de ohia Koa Mensah. Little George Koa Mensah. Koa Mensah ne ema artisans, farmers, driver for, a teacher for, obiye di one dance say the etime boa ema o immune system kosoro Koa Mensah. Koa Mensah ye papa koa mixture bema wo immune system na na so COVID-19 brei kokope bitre all across nation pharmacy shops ne health centers nyina 0243 140 213 213 0243 140 213 we FDA edenensa esiso health alert clinic say meno ka say open hospital COVID-19 brei chronic diabetes omo ye ho adwuma chronic hypertension omo ye ho adwuma stroke numbness waist pains muscle pains ne machine treatment ulcer prostate issues just yare bia no a oye wo de call health alert clinic ye free hepatitis B screening enso ewo ho say when you ne bri wo typhoid bad cholesterol ne de keka onyina no health alert clinic ebeboa health alert clinic ewo ultrasound scan massage and physio with machine treatment laboratory service health alert clinic beboa ye from Monday to Saturday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ope ye chiri kwanya bra Madina post office no behind the First Atlantic bank fra 0242 fra health alert clinic 0242 518 893 0242 518 893 and that's 0242 518 865 health alert clinic. Let's go hair bar, let's go hair bar, let's go hair bar. And some papa et say Remy Martin, Hennessy, Glenfiddich, Dom Perron, and a vodka ne de keka ho make a disipoku Glenfiddich no you were 15 years, you were 12 years, you were a platinum no crown so ewo ho uba now pensa papa dia a best wine what's it?
Omonum.
There be him.
Okay. That's a big bomb, man.
And sa papa bema wonum emmo enra ye fre bibi Santori Toki and sa papa emma wonum emmo adebachi wuntwa wodofo blade eno no ubenya no best wine wo Jowulu 34 ni note nyanchi street hono ano wo branch Jowulu junction no best wine ewo ho 0507 the number is 0507 613 900 0507 613 900 best wine caliber of wine and liquor at its best. Yeah, back to the studio near Baba, but before that, Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic, Semenka will say sexual weakness, Yanko Greenfield, infertility, Yanko Greenfield, stroke, Yanko Greenfield, diabetes, Yanko Greenfield, piles, Yanko Greenfield, bone setting, Greenfield, gonorrhea, Greenfield, hypertension, Greenfield, urinary problems, Greenfield. Wo pesa yare nyina ko Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic na yemfa emfidie enhwehwe umoja we hunam dua no akwa anim ne hunu ba bia problem ni nyina wo ye wo ultra modern laboratory and diagnosing machine etimi hwe ni padua nim dietitian na obema o dietary plan eno nso ebi wo ho open bright soldier capsules no ba timi enhance libido peak performance, waist pains, low sperm count near no so to make abra Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Bright garlic capsules enso ebe boa ama moja die furusani eye. Je number we ubewu ye nungwa adogon last stop ho e na Greenfield ewo Estate Junction wa je number ene frɛ ukɔ na wo yira 0243 983 906 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 989 898 sorry 898 651 898 Greenfield. God is our healer. Greenfield is your last stop. Listowel nana poku na do si poku convene ma good governance and advocacy group and energy go na do say na wo to aso ama me wo mo policy a ye frɛ no you can say what must say flagship programs are ba review.
Okay. Ohen yankwada. The etwaso no one district one factory.
One district one factory.
Yes, I think I have some questions there. But because it is the only programmer it has not attained success.
Anyone
is
is
the only
wrong.
programmer
Power FM.
you don't have much to say about, because wherever Akuffo Addo went, at least Senyesa program now he had nothing to commission or to be part of in terms of glory. What is Akuffo Addo kotoa? Apart from planting for food, no, there is nothing. One kucha school dying, one kucha your friend is saying asupiti, one kucha a quine, the old child your friend is saying one dish one factory. Water and sanitation is a laughing stock. I mean, it's frivolous. I mean, who how to S3 water and sanitation?
But that's a flagship program.
Let me tell you, government are what failing in respect of water and sanitation in this Fourth Republic. So say Akuffo Addo who any government. Can I give you an example?
Example near there.
For example, President Rawlings here water and sanitation. President Rawlings, he is remarkably known. Say, ensure say ensure ko baby. Oye. Kufuor, His Excellency, etwaso. In fact, on the crowd here, just so that it will be better known, no, the HEPIC Sika Okunya, no. What is you see a lot of these sanitary, friends saying, places. Udu baby HEPIC toilet, KVIP, maybe. Now comes to John Mills late and John Mahama. Look, John Mahama, otimiko sa epumunsuo. Now wakwa your friend is saying desalination.
Desalination project.
Now what the epumunsuo a entini wo mu no, wa yi entini na frim ama yetime no munsuo no, etimi di dware etimi di ebibia, etimi di good tank mu ma tank na nwe na ache. It's wisdom. It's you see, governance, it's only about two things. You don't have wisdom, forget about it, because you can't have knowledge. Now, that's a laughing stock of this government. Roads and infrastructure, you can't compare anything Akuffo Addo to Mahama, because he is the predecessor. Yeah, you bet me not to home. Maybe say railway development. Senke Yanko Ngujo Gati, railway development. Your friend is.
Is it not because of a president?
It's not because, you see, it may be one, maybe hatred and all that. Those are very, trivial things I will analyze. But because he didn't invest there.
Running the quick.
And Joe Gate exposed them on several occasions. He dared them that if they don't take care, he will come out. On several occasions. And so it was a failure. Even though Joe Gate was willing, Akuffo Addo had it not a dream to think of or to ponder over. Now, Bibi to say fish landing site. Special Development Initiative. Zongo Development Fund. Bawumia. And then Zongo baby obeko biano. Omuhu ne say wo ya wo si we Zongo ni. Ya nka sebio nka wo se nka Islam mu unua asede ne na pede na wo yema no no wantimi anye afei na anam na magu ministry no. What did Mustafa Hamid, who was in charge of that ministry, say? Was say a government that decides to scrap that is a very useless government. So it tells me that Akuffo Addo is a very useless president and he has a very useless government. Now, livelihood empowerment against poverty. A year abaya Kufuor any dear ni muna this adi way by. But the person that gave meaning to that leap, Nana Oyelita, you can't take that thing from her. Just like Akuffo Addo advocating for free SHS, Nana Oyelita gave meaning, true meaning to the LEAP program. And school feeding program, President Kufuor, Mia Kasami for the late, your friend is saying, Dr. Amakutofo.
Dr. Amakutofo.
Oko Sisa Gogo make on where man collect the President Kufuor Jinadi. He didn't care about whether you are a friend or whatever. a brother or a senior, I mean, as we used to call it, he sacked him. Emma and one sem President Akuffo Addo buy, but the NDC gave a true meaning to it. And let me also remark, Kwame, hey, Sebi Ohene, you have a teenage I mean to me for Kwame. The tenant say, I did be a President Akuffo and NDC bar bem no mu nyansa e maade no omo shemu kina. For example, National Health Insurance, National Health Insurance. I was looking forward to seeing National Health Insurance here in a flagship program. Do you know why National Health Insurance Sika omo timi ka put the corporate presidency could call Akando, he will give you further and better particulars. Omo timi ka put ayare for Sika o ma ka put the kwakọ fru remushen. The last but not the least. The last but not the least. The last three but not the least. Regional reorganization development. This is supposed to be a defunct.
So why we? Okay, so why is this still a government?
Sa nipa mienu ye na omo local government minister and the deputy Okre MP Damboche. Senior Damboche. I respect him so much. Sometimes he misfires and I fire him. I don't care because he is here in the task or in service to Ghana, not to himself. He's supposed to be a gentleman, but Akuffo Addo has said, "Ni papa be obey Akuffo Addo be our son." Now, regional reorganization and development. Any hobby. So what are they going to review? Okay, 16 flagship programs are. What are they going to review? So I have only four. Four.
It's where your flagship programs are buying a moment at the flagship programs.
And this is captured. This is captured in the 2021 budget.
Appendix 6.
Okay,
you be quote me read messages in the but before that, you ever back near Baba share. Listen, have you noticed all of a sudden cars a walk room? Traffic be any krumubio. E say we see ya na what do baby alcohol 37. Achemota mile 7 hono no traffic. When e say about 2, 3, 4. With me driving free and the meba e be me free bar. Told I made a 1 hour and they drew her and I made about 37 minutes and they drew her. So clearly a hefana cars no afa. Is it Uncle for intimate tofu and
Obia packet?
Okay, may bus is here, but to pain capsules and ointment, ever boil a to pain, a bit too pain. What junk were chiribramu, rheumatism, arthritis, nerve pain, headache, ninano, compared to pain capsules in Ibina into pain mouth. Solac mixture, Ebema, I see one asu trying, waba, I see any bisu trying. Solac mixture. Beman so, Ebema, dear new moye kuruno. Juba nkuro so mampe link ko sankosa ni nyina no ebekọ wo hia Solac mixture Zipman capsules no so be ma 10 wo beti de panya wo beti de ebema sexual weakness akọ from waist pains na akọ from low sperm count bia Zipman capsules Prostafid capsules no be ma jonso twa ne mu aye den na timi apompe jonso aba ama jonso no ajonso boko kope beto Fred Dr. Solomon 0245-616-028 0245-616-028 Thomas Ansem aye afo say Listowel please the very few 1D1F were not new factories but private owned and already existed ones. Okay, Della Francis Akuffo Addo and his government are okay. Michael Tetese Akuffo Addo and his followers are walking dead. Useless government, he says. Okay, it's fine, we can work with it. 3241. Yamra back now. Listen, so I was talking about traffic. What is happening?
See, when your government fails you, you try it maybe 1, 2, 3 times and you stop. You say you can't say petrol bo kosro abanye the obetimi bi ama petrol bo aba from. But umiani Akuffo Addo could die thinking say the Ghanaian is a magician. Just like the Nigerians have always called us. Nigeria ni ba Ghana ha no spend this car. Or shall say, but you guys, how do you live your lives? Because we are trained almost to be like Professor 4. You have little to spend, but you spend largely. Sometimes, one so acquaint but the son say Ghana for yadoye. Ya wunua bi betime siw baabi. Ya wu pie kura na nika pra. Wo ani da so say wo betime atena taxi mu dia koduru baabi ama onua bi a sebio ehumobro wo na koma mu e betime twia ka ama wo. Ebi abetena ho no wo beje baako mienu miensa obetwia. Wo kofie so wasa adomo. Sanyo maninti a Ghanaian who has no job, who lives no better life, becomes a magician because sorry I will pia bonten koba. The rent is so a bia with me ko ala. The friend of kwakpakpa no. It me ko ye ala. It me ye bi e de koma efiewura nti what if ya nyame adom ene na hu mobro nti no obi ehu ne say oh wotimi koba. But it got to a point in the life of a Ghanaian for the first time in the history of this country. And yes, a petrol crash short to na unya binto. Petrol no ebu. But sika or the betono ebini ho. This is the first time in the history of this country. Someone should prove me wrong. With any history in this Fourth Republic.
Petrol debu.
First no, petrol it's me short so. Unya sika.
Then friend Akuffo Addo.
And I say uwo sika. A okope bi ato.
Ba unya binto.
But unya binto.
We dey bi wo ha.
We dey bi wo ho. But sika wo de betono. Ebini ho. I think se me Akuffo Addo a ena John Mahama dum so enyo no na de baaye. Me de ye campaign tia no a me enka mintimi mpia bonten kura na makọ kasa me bie microphone na makasa wo because sebi enka many be wu. But like I've always said, a government that depicts character traits of cocaine addicts, they have no shame. They have no shame.
Sometimes, do you remember say you oil kruma? Me I thought that me rate me fi say kroni ya omaya oil because it looks like yenya oil so mfasudie bia. Say ye omaya oil. Na ye say adwaman so de ko $130. $130 ye ye ko ton bi.
Yes, yenya same.
Yenya mfaso wo so.
Yes.
Who projected $60 per barrel. And I could do $130. Eye then mfaso wanya twice the amount now who projected you know.
Twice plus 10.
Plus 10. You cannot come back and use her mfaso na. So any know you on your ton
Okay. Question here I will say a question yanke was nke kwenyansa for. But unfortunately, you know, you don't have them governing you. Unfortunately, you know. Enya nyansa for na ebu man. Se nyansa ni na ebu man ya. Sebi ade a o projection say 60. Say who was 70 more. 60 no kwa na won faso. 60 no na won faso be say almost for say 15 to 20. It is already coca 70 no you have about 90. 90 no your accruals you make as profit. 90 no is accruals ube make it as your profit. Na die John Mahama ye nie. Aya na man for question say adentina John Mahama di bibi ko share price build up nim say price stabilization levy. Now this is the brain behind it. John Mahama who say sometimes if I omit the word His Excellency, I mean it's known in the world say he's excellent in his work. I mean so sometimes ignore it. John Dramani Mahama who say maybe buyer na Ghana ye ton fango nanso so ye beton fango na wie no na ye say ye frɛ bibi to debt na ye de ka
sa de na madwene ho amentiase.
Yes, because
say companies
government was doing subsidy on fuel. If you roll in Sapenso ba Akuffo Apenso
but in the days of Akuffo, so what was the big deal?
No, Akuffo didn't stop. It began
government subsidy no.
Akuffo,
I don't have the records, but under Akuffo, I realize I
well,
can remember.
Well,
my memory serves me right.
Well, I think I will still have to visit a note. I'll still have to visit a note from a think tank. But my previous check tells me that we didn't end it there, even though I eulogize him so much. Now, somebody comes and says, no, you try and pay toward debt, no. They paid it with a price stabilization levy. They paid it off. Emma, ya nika biem to nika. And after they paid it, they say, let's sustain it. Now, the reason is that, say to me, yet me crucica in that levy in the consolidated account.
Almost like 10 years now.
Sasika no, se mre mu odin te se neba. Ya di be kusin Ghana for na ya subsidize aso wansene ama sika ya jeje no ntokua to wo si petrol motor ne so no ya sade akoso wansene. You see the wisdom. Senka nejo mama na president a enka betime question ne say ada na price stabilization levy na wo de baaye no won fan so yansene ne Emma ye ho he ha yen esan say covid aba ama ho kira ba Ukraine war say I don't know almost second
that is an excuse.
Ukraine, yes, their second excuse.
Power FM.
You know first one I make at you from
enti wo ni say adwene a adwen anya no na ebu man anu nti no aban no a wo say wo make sure say me ne wo mienu nke ye ho be he ha ye no ene osagina wo punaji say after having paid the price stabilization levy, which of course is supposed to cushion you and be your backbone, especially in this predicament, you know, was also a baby levy. We
Power FM.
Sabino, and we hear by na if we are so be a short nipa no. This America for be a son in nipa no. One kwani abaya the whole world were introduced to COVID levy.
So my free for free. You are my free
free no enya Akuffo Addo dia o ya dia. Enne ECG omo started dundun kofo kanea. Because Ghana airport adan Kenya mfaso under the watch of Kwakwane Akuffo Addo ne Akwaye oti Metro TV. The friend is ekura ya na mre finidi. Adusuni. Pado mo kire.
Okay.
Omo disikana ma ene unim say omo workers eko Christmas holidays kwa ye ntwi omoka faith January for the first time company na enya mfaso and the company no they have run into debt because of mismanagement and thievery at the highest order chrono bo. Ghana airport company doesn't make any profit. For example, this is Frontiers. Yeah, it tells you how weak a mind we have as a government. For Noguchi for a text, me boy. COVID by Noguchi na text. And no Akuffo private company be almost 5 ministers almost convert but president do him because on him I know the friend. He's my friend.
Power FM.
And the question Nigerian.
Why Nigerian? He's my friend.
Sir.
He is working into a Dominican tax, your friend say, haven.
Tax having company.
And one more JJ, South Sikana Jomama, I describe say a chrono. It's his chrono. I didn't call UK one year. I don't know Ghana, yeah, better than UK. Oh, that's what JJ. Kofias and Tibedia tuning a year no. They are friends to him. They introduced him to the president.
Power FM.
I know him. It's not. I have driven his BMW. I know him. I know Peters. I know him. Like you and I seated here. I know him. I know him. He is wanted in Nigeria and wanted in UK. I know him. Like this. I know you. If like line up 3 men, I will show you who he is. Line up 100 men. This man is taking monies, which monies no Ghana benefits only 1 million out of 17 million. And you think we are a wise country? You leave that money and you come and chase the taxpayer.
Hello, Wayne.
Hello.
Jack. So free already on home about Arma.
Yeah. Of a king in your price in cycle.
Obage. Wo barbering shop wa ensure afa ne ko mfie be enum nie. And now no me be hwe so nim say me ba wo barbering shop wo. Me ba hwe wo na.
One you ba o me that one wo be demonstration.
I me be sra wo no. Me ba na mra ho. Enso da bia wo defend MPP. E dey na wanya free MPP wo Obage.
First of all, me shop no. So the zero me am shop say so na dey koyo. Okova na po ne bebubu no oton hand ne match Kenya wo chache ofake. The wo no.
Ana MPP aba mfie numnie woda so te won completed building soro e de canopy atete afam eye ho e de apaso ani afa timu na wo defend MPP e de na wanya free mu
okay je ba jo come defend why yeah what's the politics wrong what to aba you wo de nipa be kan what to aba ma no what is it 2016 I do say obey education and John Mahama say ezongo fo be si mo chamo no mo kada. Ede me class na me de me baba adwene class no. Ana ma de me tire me say mentuma school. Ampa obe wa ye. Asa se na me promotion ya ka
menim say 2016 wo ka 2020 asem ba okay 2020 kura asem na wo ka me se wo no MPP ba ye mfie numnie. Sabio se John ka asem wo se Ghana ye yie na se wo anka se wo botom you don't feel it awudi ekotonu ni. Aden na wo defend MPP 5 years nie. Now so that's to one completed building. A shoro, a de canopy, a atete, a nekra, a year and Nadia be one share. Yeah,
Nana, and then the whole address in the papa.
And me person me want to say defense in our bomber MPP 5 years no. A Diana when you're free war.
Oh, the organization image na I need a crown, me first one Akuffo education. Agree. It's in mega MPP there, Mr. Benya. Benefit won kaka but the only say Okatakyie Ghana no enso na MPP aba no ye doso the whole Ghana no ho you want to be nyime go Pacific say of ake go na was say
over yeah kasa de ne wanya enye abronsan e besi ama wo ne mo say the so wa bema nyimonyamfo 10 gram wonim say by now esenka ya hye nioma ye asoman a anka wo fake na wo obi a wo koba wo ye tough guy wo vision wo animunyam wo ani swade me no ka say you don't even know where you are going in life tell me some boy
there we gonna hear in the meeting gas say life on the life the fan say I rather say work school and I say starting years kaminim die nyame say me die but say the usi ka say we never man this for di matem papa so ka shop na say no say we say di matem on Facebook no e be friend me kura madam ba your friend Mark Johnson or friend me phone so if I can say na so no problem asmara na ye no
you
know me come me chief
tie me ochina abroswa okay ochina metukwan me wie show a metukwan next week by this time mema 1000 Ghana na de siesie eye o shop ho aye ho kama wate
that's
me am 1000 Ghana e de ama na o de siesie shop no wate that's of okay yamfa eye another caller 1 2 3 aha eye asempetia power 97.9 I used to do these things on Happy FM. Asanto Abakwame, Ewenye News. Hello, one Ima from Nasuman, line Akate Fanba. I will personally dash off a 1,000 Ghana, I don't mind. Offer CC, in the shop. Nah, all of us, make I genuinely, me to machine. That is worth about 1,700 the chair, genuinely. I bought so many things for people. In fact, me manipa more than 17. I could see a track yet driving. And it wouldn't be funny enough. All the nipa 17. Hello, one year. Eben kwabenya, Eben adzai. Eben adzai. Eben online munye.
Oh, metonka.
Eben, na what say? We Eben no yem soja pa o na je one time we dey men so adwame.
Oba me ya ke pasa, me dire de adum bia ko yedie.
Bibia de ni na so e.
Adum ya hwe yi ma oni me America anime oni me say yen collect ni bebe yen mu bebe ni ya gbe wo fam
agbe ni mo ha
eni na we Abraham Mose kan si ta juma nya juma ona
mo ni bebe
to wa ase yen mu bebe wo ha yen sa bi ni nye na oni na 20 people ni ti e yo
na me ni da se kire ho at the end of the day no sai no say the mo bebre a ye se serial college MPP for dey na enya